What if I told you that you could stop worrying about retirement and still work because you want to, not because you need to? That is the idea behind Coast Fi, or Coast Financial Freedom. It is a milestone in the financial freedom journey that is perfect for nurses like you and me. So I talked about this in my last video where I talked about the money beliefs that I used to believe as a nurse, and I needed to unlearn myself. And one of them definitely is that I thought retirement is only until you are 65 years old. You don't need to wait until you're 65 years old to retire, and you don't need to work your whole life and wait until you are 65 to enjoy your hard-earned money. So in today's video, I really want to dive deep on what Coast Fi means, how you can calculate your number, and why it may be the most realistic path for people who want to retire early, especially for working nurses like you. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Elaine. I am a nurse practitioner. I founded Nursing Flowsheet, which is an educational platform for nurses to learn how they can make more money, save their money, and invest their money so they can build wealth long term. So in today's video, I want to talk about Coast Fi. And first of all, what is Coast Fi? Coast Fi stands for Coast Financial Freedom. It is a point where you've invested enough money that if you stop saving completely right now, your investments would still grow to fund your full retirement when you reach traditional retirement age, which is typically like 65. So basically, it lessens the pressure that you have on yourself when it comes to retirement, because your job right now, while you're working, really is more so to cover the bills and expenses that you have right now. You are technically coasting to your retirement, and I think this is why it's called Coast Fi. We can make this more concrete. So say you are a 30-year-old nurse with $150,000 invested. So if that grows 7% a year without you having to put any single dollar in it, you'd have around $1 million by the age of 60. That is Coast Fi, if 1 million is what you needed at retirement. So it means that you don't really need to max out your 401k anymore. You don't need to cut down on your expenses excessively. You don't need to be hella frugal or very frugal. You just need to hit that Coast Fi number and let compound interest do the heavy lifting for you. That is what Coast Fi, for those of you who are not aware of it. Why does Coast Fi work so well for nurses? And here is why it makes sense for nurses. And when I heard about this concept, I felt like this is the milestone that I really wanted to hit early on in my financial freedom journey, because I love working. I love being a nurse. I love the work that I do. I love taking care of patients. However, I don't want to be forced to work or have that pressure of working because I need to. Some of the reasons why I think Coast Fi would be better for you is that, number one, we experience a lot of burnout in our professions. And as nurses, we have seen this happen throughout the years, especially in the pandemic area. And I think that instead of pushing for the full financial independence, which can take up to 30, 40 years of working bedside, Coast Fi gives us peace of mind now, knowing that we're already on track to retirement. And I feel this is like my comfort statement that I have to remind myself when I am so worried and stressed about my finances. Even though I have a good paying job and I know I get my money management in check, I still get that financial anxieties sometimes. But knowing that I have hit Coast Fi already is one of the reasons that I feel a sense of comfort and that peace of mind, knowing that I'm already on track. It's just, it will take time. Yeah, so because we experience burnout. And second reason is the reason that I had just mentioned, it gives you peace of mind, and not only peace of mind, but also that sense of security. It also gives you flexibility. What that means is that if you are working bedside in a really high stressful environment, you can take a lower stress job, or you can go per diem, or you can have more opportunities and more freedom to start your own business, be more creative. And this is what I was able to do in the last few years when I realized that I've hit my Coast Fi. is that I took mini retirements. I took days off, months off. I also switched jobs. So I was able to do all this without necessarily like wrecking like my future self or like my financial future. So yeah, it gives you flexibility and that peace of mind. And the third thing is that it really fits our lifestyle as nurses. And the reasoning for that is because our income can really fluctuate, especially not so much for me right now that I am a nurse practitioner now because I work salary, but as a nurse, like your income can fluctuate. Like your extra shifts, you can go travel contracts, differential pays, and it doesn't really require you perfect consistency when it comes to investing. It just really rewards you for investing early and really planning ahead. So this idea of hitting Coast Fi really works for a lot of nurses. And I know a lot of nurses who have already hit Coast Fi as well. So now that we know why it works for us nurses and what it really is, I want to show you how you can calculate your Coast Fi number, because a lot of people and a lot of you have messaged me and saying that show us how to do this, show us to see, for us to see if we have hit our Coast Fi number. So you don't need a finance degree. You don't have to be a math wizard in order for you to learn what your Coast Fi number is. So here is a simple way for you to be able to calculate your Coast Fi number. I will show you a website that I use to check this. It is a free tool online and it's not really my tool. I just saw it by just like Googling Coast Fi calculator. And this is the one that I use by Wallet First. I can put a link down below of this calculator. I like using this one because it's very easy to use. So in this calculator, we're going to visualize and calculate how much we really need to reach this Coast Fi number. Like what I had mentioned earlier, it is in here, you can put in your current age. For example, I am 37 years old. And my retirement age, actually, what I'm thinking is as early as I can get Social Security money, but I'm giving it some leeway and I just put 65. But I think the earliest that you can take your Social Security money is 62, but the longer that you keep your money in there, the better, because you get more out of your Social Security if you leave it there longer. So a lot of people wait until maybe late 60s to get their Social Security benefits. For example, my annual spending in retirement is 30,000. This is a little too low for me. I am anticipating that I may not retire here in America. Who knows? But we're not very expensive. Like me and my husband are not very expensive. And for the purposes of this video, I'm really only doing my own retirement, not really including my husband's retirement, because I just want to show you that myself, after 16 years of working as a nurse, this is how much I have saved or invested. Granted, I actually didn't invest earlier in my career. I invested a little later, but I'm going to show you guys how much I have. But I am anticipating that for me, myself, it's going to be like around $60,000. And the reason why it's so low is because of the reason that I had just mentioned to you, that I may not necessarily retire here in America. We'll see. This number can change. And that's the thing too with your financial freedom journey, is that it's not a one and done kind of thing. Like it changes as your goals change throughout the years. But 60,000 is what I have right now. The current invested assets that I have, and this is across all my investment accounts and all my retirement accounts, is around 550,000. And even though I don't put anything anymore in my retirement, I would put 0, I've already hit Coast Fi. So as easy as that. So the investment growth rate is 7% because the annual returns of the stock market, the average returns of the stock market for the past like decades has been like 8 to 12%. It actually has been a little higher the past decade. We are in a bubble right now, but that could be like another conversation for another day. But anyways, like I'm just putting the average returns of the market, which is 7%. The inflation rate is 3%. and my safe withdrawal rate is 4%. This is the 4% rule, where it pretty much says that if you take out 4% of your retirement, your invested assets every year, then you won't run out of money for the next 30 years. Now, this is just a big picture of that retirement. Of course, there's a lot of nuance and a lot of like other details that probably it's not going to make this the most accurate thing, but it's a good way to see where you're at as far as your financial freedom journey. But my Coast Fire number at current age is $500,000, which is I'm maybe 50K over it. So I have already hit Coast Fi. And it really is that easy. This would be a different story if I am way younger. So if I have this much invested and I'm only 25 years old, like my Coast Fi number would be a little bit lower because my money has more time to grow. So what I'm really saying is that the earlier you start, the better. And the more investments you make earlier in your career as a nurse, the better. So yeah, this is how you can calculate for your Coast Fi number. So that is all great, right? Knowing your Coast Fi number, but what if you have not met your Coast Fi number? Like for example, you are 40 years old, your retirement age is at 65 as well, it's 60,000, and you've only invested maybe 250,000. Your Coast Fi number is $562,000. It will show in here. And the recommendation is that you need to increase your monthly contribution to reach Coast Fi before 65. So this is a good way to show if you're on track or not. But I want you to know that if you have not hit that number, it's completely fine if you're not there yet. I want you to first take a deep breath because a lot of nurses are not there yet. And I know for sure that a lot of Americans don't even have an emergency fund to fund for emergencies. So it's completely fine. Just know that having that Coast Fi number like hit is not an overnight goal. It is a direction. So if you haven't hit it yet, here are some things that you can do. So number one is to increase your investments. Maybe increasing your income, finding a different paying job, different specialty, whatever it is to invest more money. Second is build your foundation and really max out like your retirement accounts through your employer. And I talked about having systems and what you can do to reach financial freedom faster and even retiring early in one of my videos. You can check that out. It really is a long-term game, and you have to really focus on your savings rate and not perfection. So if you are only saving maybe 10% of your income right now, that is a really great thing. And you can increase it little by little as you get your salary raises every year, or if you can decrease your expenses as well. Just remember the Coast Fi really is a direction and it's just a guide for you to get to your financial freedom. So if you're not there yet, it's okay. So now that we know your Coast Fi number, what happens now? What does life look like after you've reached Coast Fi? So just for the record, I hit my Coast Fi back in 2023. And at that time, I think my estimated expenses were a little bit lower. But like I said, like this changes like throughout the years. But once you hit your Coast Fi, it releases that pressure. It makes it so much easier for you to not feel the weight of working full-time as a nurse. So it could mean that you could cut back to like part-time or per diem, can mean for you to do travel nursing instead. I know some people who do travel nursing for only half of the year and they spend the rest of the year just traveling and enjoying their life. That could work sometimes if you've hit Coast Fi. I've had a lot of people work in specialties that they really like and enjoy, even if it pays less. I have had more freedom to switch jobs, move, and be able to work in a specialty that I really like. I'm working in sleep right now, and I talked about all of these in my last video about moving and quitting my really good paying nurse practitioner job before. You can check it out in this video. And also, this has given me the opportunity and the freedom to start a business, be more creative, for me to be able to blog and make content. And I think that Like being able to hit Coastfi has definitely helped me build financial momentum. I am no longer working out of fear, out of being forced to do. I'm really working in a place of choice and option. And I think that is what true freedom really looks like and what it really is. My personal take on all of this is that Coastfi really has changed how I view my work, career, and life in general, because I used to think that I have to grind for 30, 40 years in order for me to retire. And this is something that I have seen a lot of nurses do, a lot of my family members do. And I really thought that's what I needed too. I thought I was going to be a bedside ICU nurse forever. Like when I first got my new grad nursing job, I thought that's where I'm going to be staying forever. I'm going to be like a lifer in that job. But it turns out that you could have more options in life if you could be financially secure. And when I've hit my Coastfi, when I learned about this concept, I really realized that you don't have to wait for some future version of freedom because you can really live it right now. And I think that what is really important is the now more than the future, even though like I always advocate for you investing for your future self, but the time to enjoy your hard-earned money is now. So if you want to calculate your Coastfi number, you can check out the link down below of what I used. And if you want to really learn how to start investing your money, check out a free class that I have. It's an on-demand class that you can check out down below. I'm going to be doing live classes pretty soon. Now that I'm a little bit more stable in my job, I have my full schedule and I can actually do this on my days off. But yeah, so I created this class especially for you as nurses so you can control of your finances, because I wish this is something that I've had early on in my career and I want you to build wealth. Yeah, don't forget to this video if you have a nurse friend, nurse family that you think would benefit from watching this video. Share it with them, and I hope that you're ready to invest your money and rich Coastfi and start coasting and enjoying your money now. Yeah, so I will see you in the next video. I hope that this is valuable for you, and bye.